Welcome back to another episode on Anxiety Doesn't Own Me podcast. My name is Emmanuel Isaacson, and I'm an anxiety coach who helps people to overcome and heal their anxiety naturally. On today's episode, what I am going to be talking about is something that is very powerful, and it's something that we all need. This thing that we all need is something that's called hope. Hope is a very powerful force that can help us tremendously with our anxiety. It can literally take away our anxiety because a lot of us, whenever we're thinking about future situations, we think in a very negative way about future situations, and we need to change that. We need to put more hope in there to see that situations might work out in a positive way. So instead of thinking about what can go wrong, think about what can go right and be hopeful that it will be that way. And I know that it's hard for us to do that because, again, we're so used to thinking about certain things in a certain way, and we are nervous and we don't understand how to be more hopeful. And that is something that's difficult because, again, we're used to thinking in a certain way. And the way we can think more hopefully is to think more positively. And we can start write down what's the possibilities. Just like you think about what's the negative possibilities of something bad happening, we can think about, okay, you know what? We thought about the negative side of it. Let's think more about the positive side. What good things that can actually happen? What are some good things that can come out of this? I don't know. So let's try to instill some good things, some positive things about situations that's going to happen, about whatever future event that you're nervous about. Let's say if you're nervous about going someplace because you are afraid that it's going to trigger your anxiety. Say to yourself, you know what? Who says, number one, that's going to trigger my anxiety? Just because that happened in the past doesn't mean it's going to happen again in the future. Maybe when I'm going to go there again, I'm going to feel perfectly fine. I'm actually going to have a good time. I am actually going to enjoy the ride there. I'm going to enjoy the journey there. Like whenever I went on the bus, because I used to be terrified of going on public transportations and being on my own, whenever I was going on it, I would coach myself. I would tell myself, you know what? I'm safe. This is a safe place. This is an okay place. I would try to calm myself down. But what helped me eventually also, whenever I started to go more and more on the buses, I started thinking about like the positives about being on the bus. I said, there's other people, something to talk to other people. It's nice that you can interact. It's nice to see that kind of thing. And I try to look at it more in a positive way, which really did help. And it was amazing to be that kind of way. And it was amazing to think that kind of way. I really enjoyed it much more. So we want to start thinking more positively and being more hopeful. That's what it is, having hope. Because again, being hopeless, because like I remember whenever I was struggling with anxiety, I remember how hopeless I became. Because a lot of us, when we have anxiety, we think we're going to be like this for the rest of our lives. We think we're going to be stuck like this for the rest of our life. And I used to think that way. I said to myself, I'm going to be stuck like this for the rest of my life. I'm never going to be able to overcome this. This is too much for me to overcome. I'm stuck like this. I'm going to have DPDR for the rest of my life. And it really made me feel so hopeless. I remember I was so down about it. And I never in my life felt this kind of way. There's no hope. I would wake up with no hope. Every day just waking up like, this is the way I'm going to be for the rest of my life. I'm screwed. That literally destroyed me. It literally demotivated me from overcoming my anxiety because I didn't think that I would overcome it. And whenever I started to instill being more hopeful, being more, positive, it started to help me tremendously. It started to make me feel much better and made me believe that, hey, maybe one day I'm able to overcome this. And even throughout the entire time, I would have times where it would come up like, who says you're going to come? Look how long you've been struggling with this for. You've been struggling with this for a while, and you're not going to overcome this. You've tried so many different things, and you're still struggling with it. But you know what, guys? You know what? I did snap out of it. I did overcome my anxiety, and I want to give you guys that hope that it's possible to get there, because I know a lot of us were very hopeless about it, or that we may have accepted the situation of like, this is the way I'm going to be. But understand that it's possible. Les Brown, I remember I always listen to this guy, and he's amazing. He's so powerful. And he was talking about somebody becoming successful in whatever aspect in life. He was talking more about business. And he was saying that person wants to become financially successful, and he doesn't know how to do it. But there's always one word you can always tell yourself, that it's possible. That it's possible for me to become successful. Say to yourself, it's possible for me to overcome my anxiety. I'm going to overcome my anxiety. One day I will get to that point where I will be anxiety free. And I'm telling you guys, the more you say that, the more you instill, the more you create that idea and plant that seed, you will see that your brain will start believing that. It's a very powerful thing, hope. It really, really is. So whenever we're feeling hopeless, and that's going to happen, try not to fight it, number one. Try to accept it. Because again, the more we try to fight it, the stronger we're not going to be able to overcome it. So whenever we accept the hopelessness, we will be able to more maneuver out of it and to start becoming more hopeful. So number one is we want to accept the way we're feeling. And number two, tell ourselves, hey, you know what? It's possible for me to overcome this. It's possible for me to overcome my anxiety. I'm going to be able to overcome my anxiety, to be more hopeful and to picture your future without anxiety. Just close your eyes. Like I'm doing that right now. I'm closing my eyes and I'm picturing myself the way I want to be. Picture yourself being anxiety free. Create that idea. Plant that seed in your mind to show you know what? One day we're going to be that way. And your subconsciously, your mind will start working towards that. Whenever you have a situation that you are afraid of going to, or that you may afraid of, it might trigger your anxiety or have a panic attack, close your eyes and picture yourself in that situation and picture yourself more in a happier way, in a way that good things are going to happen. Instead of being negative about it, what bad things are going to happen, think about more of what are good things? What are the good things that can happen out of it? Give 1, 2, start little by little every single time, instill the good things that are going to happen within you. And you're going to start feeling much calmer. It's the negative thinking. It's the hopelessness that makes your anxiety worse, that makes you feel worse, that makes you feel down. We don't want to feel that way. Again, we can accept. We don't have to fight it. Whenever I was dealing with the anxiety, I learned this thing to accept our emotions, to accept the way we feel. And I was accepting the way I felt hopeless, the way I was so hopeless. I accepted that. But it was hard for me to even accept that. I said, I don't want to be this way. And I remember the person that I dealt with, he told me, you're not accepting your situation. You're just accepting the way you feel. You're accepting that you feel like you're hopeless. And that's going to help you to start working towards feeling not hopeless. It's going to help you to start building yourself up to start feeling much better. Because right now you're fighting this feeling. You can't. The way to fight it is, number one, accepting it. And then start instilling hopeful things within you. Also with your anxiety, whenever you're thinking about going somewhere or doing something or whatever it is, and it makes you feel anxious, number one, accept the way you feel, that you are going to feel that way. Accept that. Number two, start positive things. What are good things that can happen? The hopefulness that can happen. Being more hopeful about the situation. What can happen with that? Start creating that reality, the positive reality, more than negative reality. If you did like this episode, please click the like button and leave a 5-star review. The reason why I ask is because this way we're able to reach more people. And the more people that we can actually reach, the more people that we can actually help. Because my mission in this world, my purpose is to help people to overcome and heal their anxiety naturally and show them that it's possible to overcome. Thank you guys. Take care. And I'll see you guys in the next episode.